Hey guys, this is your final boss, The Rock. I am with Ned Luke. Hi.
Hey there, thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
What is your favorite GTA moment?
Oh, there's so many iconic moments in the GTA series, but my favorite has to be the bank robbery mission in Grand Theft Auto 5. The adrenaline rush, the tension, the teamwork. It was something else.
Do you have any crazy story with travel?
Oh, I've got plenty of crazy travel stories, that's for sure. One time, when I was on a cross-country road trip, we ended up getting lost in the middle of nowhere. Our GPS kept leading us down these dirt roads, and it was getting dark. Suddenly, we came across this old, creepy-looking house in the middle of the woods. It was straight out of a horror movie.
What is your crazy moment with Trevor?
Oh man, my encounters with Trevor were always crazy. One time, we got into an intense car chase with the police. Trevor was driving like a madman, weaving in and out of traffic and screaming at the top of his lungs. I thought we were going to crash for sure, but somehow he managed to lose the cops and we made it out alive. It was wild.
What is your crazy moment with Franklin?
One time, we were running from the cops after a heist gone wrong. Franklin was driving like a pro, dodging police cruisers and taking crazy shortcuts through the city. But then, out of nowhere, he decided to jump a car off a ramp and land on top of another car. The way he kept his cool and pulled off that move was just insane. Definitely one of my craziest moments with Franklin.
How did you get to acting?
Well, I've always had a passion for storytelling and creative expression. I started by doing theater in high school, which eventually led me to pursue acting seriously. From there, I started taking acting classes and auditioning for roles until I started landing small parts in commercials and indie films. It's been a long journey, but I'm grateful for every opportunity I've had to tell stories and connect with audiences through my acting.
Why did you want to play Michael?
I was drawn to the complexity and depth of the character of Michael. He's a well-developed and multi-layered character with a rich backstory and a lot of inner conflict. He's a former bank robber who's trying to leave his past behind and start anew, but he's haunted by his past mistakes and the consequences of his actions. I found it fascinating to delve into his psychology and explore his journey towards redemption. Plus, the script for Grand Theft Auto 5 was just so well written and engaging that I couldn't resist jumping on board.
What is your hobby?
I'm quite the adrenaline junkie, so I love activities that keep my heart racing. One of my favorite hobbies is skydiving. There's just something about the rush of free falling through the air that gets me pumped up every time. Another hobby I really enjoy is hiking. I try to hit the trails as often as I can, and I find it super peaceful to explore the outdoors and unplug from the hustle and bustle of city life.
Are you ready for GTA 6? You're going to be a playable character? Is that true?
Oh, you bet! I can't wait for GTA 6 to come out, and the news that I'll be a playable character in it is absolutely mind-blowing. I'm excited to dive back into the world of GTA and see what new adventures and challenges await me in the next installment of this iconic series.
Are you working on project?
I'm currently working on a few different projects. I'm starring in a new movie called The Big Bad Wolf, which is a dark comedy about a serial killer who's trying to find his place in the world. I'm also working on a TV show called The Crown, which is a historical drama about the British royal family. I'm also developing a new video game with Rockstar Games, but I can't talk about that just yet.
What your plan?
My plan for the future is to continue doing what I love, which is acting in film, TV, and video games. I'm hoping to get even more challenging and interesting roles that allow me to stretch my range and connect with audiences through my characters. I'm also interested in directing and producing, so I hope to get more involved in those aspects of the industry as well. And of course, I'll continue to game whenever I get the chance.
How meet you meet Trevor?
Trevor and I met when we were both working on a film set. We were both cast as extras, and we ended up spending a lot of time together on set. We started to get to know each other, and we realized that we had a lot in common. We both had a passion for acting, and we both had a wild side. We started to hang out more and more, and eventually we became close friends.
How meet Franklin?
Franklin and I actually met through a mutual friend. We were both hanging out at a bar one night, and our mutual friend introduced us. We immediately hit it off and started talking about our shared interests in gaming and cars. We spent the whole night joking around and swapping stories, and we realized that we had a really good chemistry together. From there, we started hanging out more and more, and now we're tight as can be.
How meet your girlfriend, Amy Sachs?
I met Amy at an after party for a movie premiere. We were both there to unwind after a long day of press, and we started chatting at the bar. We hit it off right away, and we ended up talking and laughing all night. We connected over our shared love of movies and acting, and we found that we had a lot in common. From there, we started seeing each other more and more, and now we're a happy couple.
Do you have any kids?
Nope, I don't have any kids, and I don't plan on having any. I'm happy being an uncle to my nieces and nephews and getting to spoil them rotten without having to worry about the 24/7 responsibility of parenting. Plus, I'm pretty busy with my career, so it works out for me.
You was in Rover Dangerfield. You play as Raffles?
Yes, you're right. I had a small role in the movie Rover Danger. I played a character named Raffles, who was a bit of a trickster and a hustler. It was a fun movie to work on, and I had a blast bringing Raffles to life.
What was the funniest scene?
There were a lot of funny scenes in the movie, but one that stands out in my memory is the scene where Rover, the main character, accidentally crashes into a fancy restaurant, knocking over tables and causing a huge commotion. That scene was just hilarious to film, with all the chaos and slapstick humor. I remember we had to do several takes to get the timing just right to make it look as comedic as possible. It was definitely a memorable moment from the movie.
What was the hardest scene with Rodney Dangerfield, Rover Dangerfield?
The hardest scene I had with Rodney Dangerfield and Rover Dangerfield was the scene where my character, Raffles, teaches Rover how to gamble and cheat at cards. It was challenging because Rodney and I had to coordinate all the cards and cheating techniques with the camera angles and the rhythm of the scene. We ended up doing quite a few takes to get it just right, but it was definitely worth it because the final result was hilarious.
You was in American Gothic, Bill.
That's correct. I had a small role in the TV series American Goth as a character named Bill. The show was a supernatural drama comedy about a small town that was plagued by mysterious and sinister events. I appeared in one episode as a minor character who was involved in a bizarre and unsettling subplot. It was a fun experience to work on the show, and I enjoyed being a part of the spooky and atmospheric world that American Gothic created.
How did you prepare for the role? What was the hardest scene with the daughter? Why do you choose to do this one?
When preparing for the role of Bill in American Goth, I spent some time researching and studying the show to try and get a feel for the tone and style of the series. I also read through the script and made sure I understood Bill's motivations and actions within the storyline. As for the scene with the daughter, it was actually quite challenging because the character had a complex and mysterious story arc. It took some time to fully understand her perspective and motivations, make sure that they came across in the scene. Ultimately, I chose to do this role because I found the story and the characters interesting and intriguing.
Did enjoy working with Mark Barthmeyer, inmate Guy Fisk?
Working with Mark Barthmeyer on American Gothic was a lot of fun. He's a really talented actor, and we had great chemistry together in our scene. Despite the fact that our characters had some tension and conflict in the scene, it was clear that Mark and I got along well and enjoyed working with each other. We were able to bring a lot of energy and intensity to the scene, which made it all the more enjoyable to film.
Rochelle Bostrom, Sarah Susanna Hart-Jones, Katrina Dina Engel, police officer Alan Phillips, news reporter.
Yes, I remember working with those actresses and actors on American Goth. It was a great group of people, and we all had a really good time working together. I remember in particular the scene I had with Rochelle Bostrom, who played the character of Sarah. We had some great chemistry and really played off of each other well, both in terms of the scripted dialogue and in the improvisation that we did during the scene. We ended up having a lot of fun with that scene, and the final product turned out really well.
You was in The World Is Hot Enough, you play as Thug.
Yeah, I remember that one. I played the role of a thug in the movie The World Is Hot Enough. It was a pretty small part, but it was still fun to play. The character was a bit of a tough guy, so I had to make sure I was believable in that role. The director was great to work with, and the whole crew was really professional and supportive. Overall, it was a good experience. I'm glad I got the chance to be a part of it. If you've seen the movie, I'm the guy with the bandana.
What was the hardest scene to film?
The hardest scene to film in The World Is Hot Enough was definitely the fight scene at the end. It involved a lot of choreography and physicality, and we had to coordinate our movements just right to make it look believable and exciting. We probably did a dozen or so takes to get it just right, but it was definitely worth it because the final result was really intense and thrilling. I remember being sore for days afterwards, but it was all part of the job.
What was the funniest scene?
There were a lot of funny moments on the set of The World Is Hot Enough, but one that sticks out in my mind was a scene where my character, the thug, is trying to impress a girl by flexing and showing off his muscles. As I'm showing off, I accidentally ripped my shirt in half, causing the girl to burst out laughing and make fun of me. It was a great moment of physical comedy, and everyone on set had a good laugh at that one.
How hot and humid it was you guys filmed.
We filmed the movie in the summer in Louisiana, so it was incredibly hot and humid. There were times when the temperature was well into the triple digits, and the humidity was so high that it felt like you were walking through a sauna. We had to take frequent breaks to stay hydrated and cool down, and we went through a lot of shirts and pants because of how much we were sweating. It was definitely a challenging shoot from a weather perspective, but we made it through and ended up with a pretty cool movie.
Did you feel like you're going to pass out during the movie?
There were definitely times on set when I felt like I was going to pass out from the heat and humidity. We had a lot of outdoor scenes, and there were times when it was so hot that it was hard to catch my breath. Fortunately, we had a great crew who made sure we stayed safe and healthy. We took frequent breaks to cool down and stay hydrated, and we had plenty of water and shade available to us at all times. Despite the difficult conditions, we managed to get through filming and create a great movie.
What was your childhood?
I had a wonderful childhood growing up in suburban California. I had a close-knit family who was always supportive and loving, and I was lucky to have a few great friends who I spent a lot of time with. I had a lot of freedom to explore and discover my own interests and hobbies, and I was able to try a lot of different things and figure out what I was passionate about. Overall, I had a great childhood, and it played a big role in shaping who I am today.
What is your favorite thing to do with Amy Sachs?
My favorite thing to do with Amy is to spend quality time together, whether it's going on a romantic date or just snuggling up on the couch and watching a movie. We both have pretty pretty busy schedules, so it's important for us to find quality time together to connect and unwind. We also enjoy trying new things and exploring new places together, whether it's trying a new restaurant or taking a road trip to somewhere we've never been before. Ultimately, it's the simple moments of connection and shared experiences that make our relationship so special and meaningful.
What do you think of Danny Tamborelli, who played Jimmy, your son?
I think Danny Tamborelli is a really talented young actor. He did an amazing job bringing my son Jimmy to life on screen and really captured the nuances of his character. He was able to convey a lot of emotion and depth in his performance, and he worked well with the rest of the cast and crew. I was really impressed by his professionalism and dedication to the role, and I think he has a bright future ahead of him in the industry.
What about Michal Sinat, the Tracy DeSanta, the daughter?
I think that Michal Sinat did a great job playing my daughter Tracy. She was able to capture her character's personality and quirks perfectly, and she had great energy and chemistry with the rest of the cast. She was also really professional and easy to work with on set, always bringing her A game and ready to put in the work to make each scene the best it could be. Overall, I think she did a fantastic job and made Tracy a really memorable and compelling character.
What about Vicky Van Tassel, play your wife Amanda DeSanta?
Vicky Van Tassel did an amazing job bringing my character's wife Amanda to life. She had a really strong handle on Amanda's personality and mannerisms, and she was able to bring a lot of depth and complexity to the role. She had great chemistry with the rest of the cast, particularly with me as Michael, and she really made Amanda a compelling and believable character. Overall, I was really impressed by her performance and thought she did a fantastic job in the role.
Well, Ned Luke, take care. You can say whatever you want. Good luck on The Big Bad Wolf and The Crown.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the well wishes, and I'm excited to be a part of The Big Bad Wolf and The Crown. It's always great to have new and interesting projects to sink my teeth into, and I'm looking forward to bringing my best to these roles. Take care.